there's no rule on how many mics you have to hit up and how many sets you have to do. Like, it's all on you. But if you know that doing all those mics was making you like fucking depressed and shit, then you know what your limit is, right?
Yeah. And then
because it's not like you don't like doing them. You just didn't want to hit it up every fucking day, 5 mics in a week, 3 mics in a day, right?
Yeah.
It's exhausting and energy draining.
And then also if I don't have new stuff, even if, like in between the old jokes, I need to have some new stuff. And in order for me to write new shit, I need downtime. I need days where
you're not doing comedy.
Not doing anything, no responsibilities, and just sit and quiet or read or something else, do other activities, hang out with my friends, or do other struggle to have inspirations to write. I need to live. And if grinding is what I do like every day, I don't have room. I don't have that mental capacity to write new shit.
No, and I love that, because you're not getting new shit hitting up mics. Yeah, you're changing and adjusting like current material and jokes that you have, but it's not like how you get your material.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So you need your you time.
Yeah, I need a lot of my time.
and I respect that, because there's comedians who've been doing it for years and they don't function that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm with you. Like, you have to live to be able to write your story, right? To be able to tell your jokes. And that's how I am. And on that note, I'd like to introduce, welcome to the Pretty Xtreme podcast. My name is PX Floro. We have the amazing Shining here in the studio Hilton on the 25th floor. So I wanted to thank you, Shining, for doing the podcast, and everyone kind of just came into what we were talking about, because we're both comics. And I want to agree with you, because when I started doing comedy, I felt like everyone was like, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? And I felt like I did, because I was like, oh, these people have been doing comedy for a while. Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't. I couldn't do it, not because I didn't want to. In that point in my life, I was going through my second divorce. I had kids. You know what I mean? Like, it just wasn't my time. And I would push back on these people. I'm like, I have, no offense, but I have a life. You know what I mean? Like, but not like that. Just kind of like, I got hella shit going on. Like, I'll make time when I can do it, because they're not the ones booking me. They're not the ones, but again, they're friends, you know, trying to give advice, and I get it, but not everyone is the same. And I feel like it's the same thing with work ethics, right? Comedy ethics, just you as a human being, like, we don't all function the same. So I kind of want to get your feedback on that. Like, so was it like open micers? Like, were you at open mics, or were you at shows and people are just like, you should do more open mics?
Both. And also just listening to great comedians. They all say stage time. You got to hit up mics. That's the way to it's to
grow,
sport.
right?
Yeah, to grow. I agree.
It's a muscle.
It's a muscle.
Exercise.
Yeah, you gotta exercise every day. It's like you're training for like a marathon, or like they use all these analogies. I agree. I mean, there are definitely values in grinding.
Right.
And it's like a punches, right? Practice every day. You can't be a boxer
without training,
without your opponent. You know, you can't just practice at home. It's like the way I look at it is like a sports. Like Kobe Bryant, all that. You know, you want to be the great. If you aiming for excellence, you have to do that.
Right.
And then for me, I just know my limit, my mental capacity, and I will push myself in my own terms.
Right. And not based on other people's terms.
Yeah, not based, because if I do that, I will break. It will break me. I will admit it. If
and you're gonna
that
hate
means
comedy.
I'm a weak ass bitch. Okay, fine. Like I'm okay. Like my mental.
I'll be
health,
a weak ass bitch.
Yeah, my mental health and my balance in life is the most important thing to me. I think about before my deathbed, am I going to regret I haven't hit more mics? I should have done
No, you're not.
more. Yeah, I should have done more shows. I should have grind more. I should have worked harder. I don't think so. Like I want to have somewhat a balanced life.
You're pacing yourself.
Yeah, I'm pacing myself. It's gonna take a long time. And then there are other, what's my goal? I think about.
Yeah. What is your goal? What is
I
your
wanna
goal in the
make-
comedy scene?
So how I started was actually Ricky Gervais. Have you seen his monologue, 2020 Golden Globe?
No.
Oh my fucking God, that girl, you gotta see. I watched his monologue and I was like, damn,
I wanna
you
do that.
can do comedy like that? No joke was told. He was just been insulting. Not insulting, but like just telling the truth.
What was he insulting?
He was,
or was he
people
talking
in
about
the-
situations?
No, just these.
So he's crowd working. He was
crowd
roasting.
working. No, he just insulting the people in that
In the venue.
in the venue, like the
So crowd
actors
work.
and actors. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, it's crowd work because it was an award ceremony.
Award ceremony. Yeah,
Sorry, give me one
So,
sec. Keep talking though.
yeah. He said, some of you, to those actors, right? Actress, and he was saying that, what the fuck? Now I don't remember it. Yeah, he was just basically
What awards
saying
was this?
most
What awards was this? Was it an award?
Golden
like-
Globe.
Okay, he was a
Golden
Golden
Globe.
Globe, and he was the host.
He was the host, and he did his monologue, and then
Like he did a set, and
basically
he was
just
roasting.
basically just said, insulted everybody, like like don't get mad at me, y'all Harvey Weinstein's friends,
Right.
or there were scandals.
And were they laughing?
There were nobody was laughing.
Shut up.
And then at the end, and then he said,
He didn't
most
give
of
a
you,
fuck.
he didn't give a fuck. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
But
He's-
the people at home watching it are like, "Ah!"
Yeah, exactly. And then one thing I loved the most in his monologue was the end, and he said most of y'all had received less school than Gwyneth Thunberg. So when you get when you get award, come up, thank your fucking God and agent, and get the fuck out of stage. You have no place to educate.
Shut. And he was the host.
Yeah, he said you have no place to educate the mass. You're like just so far out of a reality. All of y'all, these bitches, basically.
Shut up. And
Yeah.
how did the show go? How did the rest of the show go?
The rest, the camera panned into a lot of those celebrities' faces,
And they were like,
oh, and
they were all
then
offended.
oh my God, it had like billions of views on the
Was
internet.
it this year?
2020.
Oh, 20. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then when I saw that, I'm like, God damn, you could do that.
And that's when you started doing TikTok.
That's when I
and,
started doing TikTok.
and
where
you know
I
you
just started saying
and
shit.
you know you're gifted, right?
Yeah.
You have a gift.
Yeah.
Amma, she came here on a yellow bus.
No, it just not that I'm gifted.
No,
it's
but you
just-
have to me you have a gift. You saw something and you're like, I want to do that. You tried it and you were able to mirror that. Because honestly, I've been doing comedy for 11 years, right? I've tried doing YouTube, I've tried doing TikTok. I've never been able to pop, you know what I mean? So I don't know what it is that I need to do, but when I see someone like you, I'm like, fuck, and that was the method, right? You saw something, you executed, and boom, like your social media, like you're amazing. That's what I was always wondering. I was like, how did you do it? And now hearing the story, I'm like, that's all it fucking took, bitch. Watch the global awards from 2020.
Yeah, I gotta show you after this, but
But that's why a lot of comics love you. Like if you're in the scene, and I have to tell the audience that the first time I saw you, I fell in love. It was love at first sight because I was like, I was hosting that night and you came up to me and you were like, I'm from out of town. And I was like, oh, okay. You're like, this is my first time. And I was like, okay. And I was thinking, what kind of accent is that? And as soon as you went up, you went straight to the fucking accent. And I was like, and you said something like, oh yeah, I'm originally from China, but I think it's like Alabama or Kentucky. And it's because I suck a lot of Alabama dick. And the crowd fucking lost it. I lost it. I was like, who the fuck is this bitch? Where in Alabama? You know what I mean? Like it was such a breath of fresh air to see female comedians, which there's a lot of female comedians that don't give a fuck. but it's rare where you see Asian ones, like especially in the beginning, right? We're like all together, we're all in the same fucking thing, right? But we see like, what's her name? Ali Wong, right? We see Margaret Cho. They fucking went over, right? They were like, they don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck, and they're so successful. And I'm always like, hi, like, no, what you know? But everyone's different. Everyone is different, and I enjoy seeing you. And me and Molly were driving up to the festival that we went to, and we were talking about you. And she's like, I love Shiny. I was like, no, I love Shiny. Like, she's fucking amazing. She's like, she doesn't give a fuck about. That's why I like her. Like, she just doesn't give a fuck. And you're the type of person that I see, like, excelling with the amount of time you've been doing comedy. Because how long have you been doing comedy?
A year.
Right. The amount of time, like, you've accelerated and then you've plateaued. Accelerated and plateaued, right? But you learned it, right? Yeah. And I think that's huge in the comedy scene. And to be able to learn that from a newer comic, it's very... eye-opening, I guess you could say. Oh, you know what I mean? So, no, thank you. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. And it's hard for me to imagine, like, you're depressed. You're like, no, I like sitting at home. And I'm like, me too. But you don't seem... Like, I see your pictures. You're like, in London, in Japan, or in China. And then I messaged you. I know. And then I messaged you. You're like, bitch, that's old. I was like, oh, that's the secret.
You gotta keep up with the content.
Yeah, no, it's so good. Yeah, it's so good.
Those pictures were like back in the day, and I used to like travel with my parents a lot. So yeah.
You can't even tell. You look the same. Like
thanks to Botox and fillers.
Yeah. No, you look amazing. And I was gonna also ask you, what was it? I already lost my train of thought. I haven't even smoked yet.
Yeah.
But you said Botox and fillers is your secret. I don't think so. I think it's just because you're Asian girl.
It's
Asian don't raisin, you know what I mean?
A little bit of both, genetics and all that too. And I also, I'm pretty lucky. I don't got to worry about kids, and my husband is pretty supportive. Nobody expects that much from me, so I've always had a room to just be me, and then I never really had to do stuff I didn't want to do.
So were you raised that way? You know what I mean? Were you raised to be
sort of, yeah. I mean,
like if you don't need to do it, because that's what I was saying. Asian parents, dude, Asian they're parents? Like, it's my way or no way.
Yeah, kind of, but I talk a lot of shit about my parents, but for the most part, they provided a lot of financial freedom for me.
Yeah,
and they. To be honest,
they were real. They sound like real parents.
Yeah, even when they were like kind of verbally abusive, I felt like
as all Asian parents are.
Maybe kind of like I asked for it, like I talked back or something.
Yeah.
But so I'm lucky in that regard, because stress will like age you for sure.
Right.
Yeah, and then I don't have that much, and nobody really expects that much from me. They just know, oh, she's always like free floating.
Yeah. No, and I feel like you have this energy that people just want to gravitate and like hang out. Like they're just like, dude, I like her. Oh, she's cool. So I love that. And I love that you were honest. You're like, I couldn't do the open mics every fucking day, like 4 or 5. I couldn't do it. Once I did it, it was fine. But I too just got to a point where like, fuck that, dude. Like, I don't want to drive. Like, people will say, go to the mics in the city. I'm like, I don't want to drive to the city. Why do I drive to the city when it's just there's one right here? Like, I run my own. Like, I don't want to go somewhere else when I do it here, if that makes sense. So that's one of my things in the comedy scene, where a lot of people are like, I'm going to move to LA to go make it. I'm going to move to New York to go make it. I'm going to move to San Francisco to go make it. And I've always believed that comedy is where you bring it. It doesn't matter where you are or where you go. Yeah. Like, you bring it. You know what I mean?
And then there's no like make it. You always have stuff you want, project you want to do, and you want to aim at excellence. But what does excellence mean to you? Like arenas tour, like Netflix? Is that what? Or excellent means every day you improve a little bit, you learn something. So instead of focusing on, by this time I need to do this place, that place, I need to get booked on this show, that show.
You don't care about that?
I don't. That's never been my goal.
Yeah.
Never been my goal.
What's your goal?
to be honest, I don't live my life very goal oriented.
Yeah.
It's very.
I admire
free-flowing.
that. Yeah.
And then it just.
You just know that you're supposed to be doing comedy.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
know like, oh, this is fun for me.
Yeah.
And I got shit I want to say.
Yeah.
And it may sound offensive to some people. It's not that I don't give a fuck about everybody. I don't want to be offensive just to be offensive. It's my.
It's your opinion.
It's
It's
my
your thought.
opinion.
Yeah.
And you know, if you don't like it, like say if it's face to face conversation, I'll listen to you and then we can agree on something. We can relate with anyone on basic human
Right.
levels. And then, but on the internet, it's like people
You don't
want to
give
jump. I don't really give a fuck.
I was gonna say, do you get a lot of hate messages or like you're fucking dumb? Like,
Oh, girl, yeah. So after Ricky Gervais, I watched him, and then that was during like the peak of the pandemic.
and you weren't doing comedy, you were just watching it.
Yeah, I was just watching it, and then so talking shit is just part of me because I grew up.
Because you've always been like that.
I grew up with boys.
Oh.
Because the ratio in China
Right.
is off.
Right. So just to
And-
clarify, the audience who are listening, she's from China, and the accent is from.
I lived in the South.
Okay, in the South. I love your accent. I fucking love it. Yeah, I'm sure people tell you that all the time. Like, where are you from? Right? So, but you were raised around boys. I kind of have that same thing. Not raised around, but I always got along more with boys. But in your case, it wasn't a choice, right? Like you had no choice. There was more males than.
More males, yeah. And then you know how
Is
boys
it still
were
like
boys?
that right now? Is it still like that where they
Yeah,
restrict?
a little bit. Depends on the town you grew up in.
Really?
Yeah, bigger place like like Beijing, Shanghai, like a mega cities. I'm sure it's pretty even, but like smaller towns, they're more boys than girls. Wow. Yeah.
But are
So-
they still restricting?
No, not anymore.
When did they stop doing that? Would you say?
Like about 10 years ago, they
Fuck.
yeah.
Just 10 years ago, they were like, okay, you can have as many babies as you
Yeah,
want.
because they see the collapse of like labors and shit. That's the only competitive advantage of China, just fucking cheap as labor.
Yeah.
And if the young labor force is shrinking, then it's not good. So
they're
they
like,
start
okay, you guys can
releasing
have
that.
more babies.
Yeah, and then anyways, so yeah.
That's crazy.
Because it's now too late and nobody wants to have kids.
Yeah.
Women in China don't want to get married, don't want to have kids.
That's so
Yeah, because
interesting.
because East Asian cultures, right?
I think the mic is coming down
Not
there.
only it's expected for women to take care of their wives, their husbands and in-laws and kids, cook, clean, and fucking work, because the modern society says, oh, you can't just be stay-at-home mom. You need to be independent woman. You need to work too.
Sorry, all the noise. I'm like trying to fix
No, yeah.
I should have done this before.
So women are expected to do all these stay-at-home mom chores plus working.
So that
I
was
see
the
my-
expectation in that culture.
in the culture. Yeah, I see my mom, my grandma do that. I'm like,
They're
fuck
homemakers.
this shit.
Homemakers?
No, they all had jobs.
They all had jobs in addition to taking care
In
of the
addition,
family.
I see my mom working her ass off every fucking day, comes home, cooks, cleans, serves to the whole fucking family. My dad's because we live with in-laws, because it's in that generation, it's expected.
Well, I feel
that-
like in the Asian culture, it's supposed to be living with.
yeah, the husband's parents, you like as a woman, you go move in with them.
Oh.
I'm like, fuck this shit. I asked my mom, like, are you happy doing this? Because as I grew little,
Like, you
into
leaving?
teenage years,
As
and-
in you, you're asking your mom if she's happy
yeah,
living that
yeah. Because
lifestyle.
I see that, as a baby, you don't know,
Right.
And then as I was grown into a young lady,
Right.
and I see her doing all that. I'm like, why do you need to? We can hire. My
maid.
dad can get maids
Yeah.
and stuff. We did have maids in the beginning, and then there were times when my parents' business weren't doing so well.
Right. So they had to cut.
Anyway, so they had a cut, and then she started doing all that, and I'm like, are you happy doing this? And she's like, yeah, I'm happy doing this. I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah. How old are you at this time?
I'm thinking like junior high school, something like that.
Yeah.
And and then she's like, it's just what I know. Like I'm happy to be, in a serving role, because she said my mom, which is my grandma, when was like that, and then when my mom was younger, she stepped in and helped in like traditional female roles, like cookings and stuff, and then like sewing and making clothes for everybody and her brothers and sisters. I'm like, okay, now I
so
get.
You knew at a young age, like that's not what you wanted.
No, that's not what I want at all. That's not what I want.
That's so smart for you to even think that way.
And my mom never judged me or pushed me. It's like, no, as a girl, you have to learn how to cook. She never did. She's like, okay, if you don't like it, don't get in the kitchen then.
Yeah, see, and that's how my parents were. They're like, you're supposed to do this. You're a girl. This is what girls do. And I'm like, I was like you. I was like, fuck that. But then I'd be like, all right, I guess I have to do it. I'll do it. You know what I mean? But that's where now as I'm an adult, they fucked up, right? Now they've created Frankenstein. That's just like, I'll do it, but fuck yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, not irrational. I'm just explosive, I guess, when it comes to certain things,
We're all a little bit.
Yeah.
Some triggers us.
Right, but it sounds like your mom was very supportive.
Yeah, she's very supportive.
What about your dad? How was your dad? He was just like...
We had rocky relationship for a while. He was always busy because he was working a lot. He had his own business. Running a business is not easy in China.
I was gonna say, in your guys' culture, is it typically in your culture like people are self-employed? Or are they like in the workforce?
In the workforce. Most of them are in the workforce, especially his generation, to work in like government-owned sectors is looked up. Like every
corporate.
Parents. Like not private owned.
Oh,
like if it's
like government owned, they're just like,
like
that's important.
Owned, and then they would be like very proud. It's like fucking, if your kid, went to Stanford, Google.
I get it.
So for us at that time,
yeah,
like,
working for a government
working for a government role.
That they're proud.
You made it.
Versus with Filipinos, they're like, oh my gosh, you became a nurse, like yay,
like that,
right? So with your guys' culture, the government thing was something that they looked up.
Yeah, in their generation.
In that generation.
Not anymore.
How about now? Now they're just like, do whatever. Do what the fuck you want.
Now that everybody's so fucking depressed, economy is not really doing well. I think like overall, the world is
falling apart.
You see Israel shit yesterday?
Yeah, 2,000 people.
Damn. I was like looking at the footage. I was like, is this fucking World War III? Like,
not ours.
Now, I know, like, I wish like now aliens are real. It's coming like fucking combo us.
Girl, something is happening, and I think it's ridiculous that everyone's just acting like it's fucking okay.
I know, right? I'm like, y'all know what the fuck is going on? Like, y'all act like nothing is happening.
Dude, like, I this is scary to say, but with all the war that is going on right now, because it's what Ukraine and Russia, now it's the Middle East, which they've been battling since... Jesus, right? I mean, it's been an ongoing battle between the Muslims, the Palestinian, and I didn't even understand any of this until like last year when I dated someone that was Muslim, and he explained it to me. And then my daughter got a best friend. She made a friend with someone that was Jewish, and so like I was asking questions because I've never had a friend that was Jewish. I knew of them, and it's not like I was like, ew, not like that. It was just kind of like I never never had one. Yeah. I'm 40 years old. Yeah. Till this day, I probably know, I know of them, but they're not my friends. I mean, if you are listening and you are my friend, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were Jewish. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's kind of like I was so absorbed. Like I was like absorbing both of the information like sponges. And it was amazing to hear both sides.
Yeah. There's no... someone.
It's great.
Who's the bad guy? I'm like, that's complicated. You can't say.
Yeah.
it's very
and it's not our history to say.
Exactly.
Like, we didn't live there, so we don't know. You know what I mean? Unless you've lived there and you know the history, I give those people respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like 4th of July for Americans is Independence Day. For the British, it's like terrorist holiday.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, were they
have a
terrorized
joke.
or something? Or
Nah, because the OG Americans, like the Mayflower.
Yeah.
Don't quote me, I'm stupid.
the Pilgrims and shit.
Yeah. They were like, I guess, deemed as terrorists to the British people, and they kind of flood.
And we
Europe.
called it our Independence Day because we're away from them.
Yeah, because depends on who you ask. I think
So do they look at us
dumb.
like we're stupid?
Yeah, a lot of British people think Americans are stupid.
Because we're like, yay, it's our independence. They're like, you got away. The fuck? Like, that's so interesting. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I didn't even know there was like a thing like that.
Yeah, so like it all depends on who you ask. Like if you, so I when I first came here in America, I made friends with a Japanese girl. You know how the history is with like Chinese and Japanese, or the rest of Asians.
Yeah. No, I get
Japanese.
it. I get it. Well, I've always
And
felt
then-
like Chinese and Japanese were like here. And like, I'm not saying me, I'm just saying me, okay? Not like the whole culture.
Yeah,
like
it's
as far as
the
cultural wise, like the top Asians. Like I was like, oh yeah. You know, Chinese, Japanese, Korean. Like those were like the top to me, you know what I mean? And the islanders were just like, we're so laid back, you know?
Yeah.
But I always thought like they were the
And then, anyways, no, they were, because we.
This is who you made friends with when
as a
here.
when I was in Atlanta. I
Okay.
went to
Oh,
school
Atlanta.
in Atlanta. Anyways, that's how we were educated. When we are growing up, Japan is the fucking Nazi.
right in your country. This is what
Yeah.
they're teaching you.
Teaching, like how they teach about Japan is how
No
right
way.
here, how you teach about Nazi and Hitler.
No way. Till
Yeah,
this
'cause
day or
till-
still back then?
No, till this day.
They
Till
still
this day.
teach that?
Because so there were a few things, because I guess there's this fucking what you call in Japan, like temple or something, people go to like
To pray.
memorialize
I
or
don't know.
something.
Are they Buddhist? I don't know what they are.
One of the famous ones, I guess, annually, a Japanese president. No, it's prime minister. I don't know.
I don't
what the
know.
title
Emperor?
is.
I don't know, whatever. Yeah.
As a form of, it's almost like a, what you call like Soldiers' Day here, Memorial Day.
Memorial Day,
Memorial
like, yeah.
Day, and
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Which is coming up.
So in Japan, they had some day like that. And
For
I don't
their
know which-
military.
yeah, for their military.
Yeah.
So annually, their Veteran Day, Memorial Day, the emperor will go to that temple to pray
Oh, okay.
and just memorialize all the soldiers and
Right.
generals from World War II, all that.
Right.
And every fucking year, there will be hype in like Chinese media or something.
Shut
or just
up.
say, why the fuck you? That's almost like Germans go
Right.
pray for the Nazi like
I see the
memorialize
distinction.
Nazis, generals, because they never acknowledged this one. There's this infamous crime Japan did to Chinese people. I think tested like they just kind of grabbed like a Chinese citizens back.
That was in
like,
Japan?
No. In China when they invaded. This was during World War II. And then they would do like testings in Chinese people and kids and pregnant ladies and all that.
Kind of like
And
what the
then-
Americans do.
And then like the Germans do.
Germans do.
Yeah, the Nazis. Yeah, and then
Americans.
So like from like one of the things that we all know now, that we are made of 80% water. That was how they discovered it, because they would dry people.
Out.
Yeah, dry them out and then
And
to
see how
figure
much
out what they're
water.
made of. Yeah, and they will like bioweapon test people.
Yeah.
You know how like concentration camps?
Yeah.
There was this like
That
all right.
the right what the
Warning,
Germans were doing.
I'm gonna do a dark joke.
Okay. Yeah.
What's the difference between pizza and a Jew?
What?
When you put a pizza in the oven, it doesn't scream.
You wrote that? That's
No, that I didn't write that.
oh, okay.
I'm not that intelligent.
She's like, warning. I was like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah. So that it's a joke,
a
but
dark
it's
joke.
it really happened.
Right.
So whatever that Western society that are familiar with the Nazi crimes, Japan did it 10 times more. There were 18 million Chinese people died from that.
Wait, and this was during World War II?
World War II. So
when Japan tried to invade China,
not just China, the whole like
Asia.
whole Asia. Yeah.
See, I'm so dumb.
It's
But I didn't know that. So while the genocide was happening with the Jewish people, Chinese people were also being executed.
Yeah, the same way that like what the Nazi crime to the Jewish people.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Japanese were doing that to
Yeah.
Chinese people.
And then Koreans and all the other Asians.
So Japan was doing it to all the Asians.
All the Asians, all of them.
During World War II.
Yeah. That's why like.
Do I'm assuming they're teaching you this, right?
Yeah. So they teach like not just Chinese history, but like Korean,
Asian history. They do teach
Vietnamese
that.
and everybody.
They say
like
this
every
happened.
other countries will teach this except for Japan.
And America didn't teach that.
America's
America's very focused on the Nazis and
'Cause,
the Jewish part.
Because y'all are allies, so you don't say bad shit about them. It's like Israel is Americans' ally, I think.
Right.
And then
so we're
they'll
like,
say
look what
bad about shit. So like
happened.
they will say Palestine is evil.
Yeah.
They started doing that.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. So it's
But
all
it's United
narrative.
States is the one that's fucked up, right?
It's
United
all
States.
narrative. Yeah.
No, United States is definitely the one. United States is the person that it's the friend that you have that, gets drunk, has a little fun and then gets involved when they shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You're like,
World
just mind your
police.
fucking business, dude. Mind your fucking business. This has nothing to do with you. And that's why I think it's fucking crazy that I'm learning this. I'm 40 years old and I'm learning this now that this was happening. So
when I'm
but you're
when
saying
I went
more
there,
people died.
Yeah, when I
in
went
China than-
exactly when I went to they're just more Chinese people in general. So
but I mean, if you
obviously
add the Asians, Japanese, Chinese,
exactly,
it's more than
it's way more. And then so when I immigrated here, the ESL class.
you said
as
you had someone that was
immigrants,
Japanese.
and I met someone that's Japanese, and then she
Did you
didn't know
automatically know?
nothing of it. No, I didn't automatically just say, hey.
Fuck you.
Apologize, bitch.
Yeah. She's like, who are you?
No, we became really good friends, and then so we were talking about this,
And she didn't know that history.
She didn't know that at all. I'm like,
That's
really?
crazy. So that means Japan doesn't teach
No,
this.
doesn't teach. Yeah, so
This
it's not
history.
the people's fault.
Right.
It's
the
like
education. It's the system.
Yeah, it's a system.
Well,
They
I mean,
don't
it's a
teach you
failure
that.
to us too.
Yeah.
As Americans.
Exactly.
But it's, again,
It's a
propaganda.
narrative. Yeah, controlling narrative is controlling power.
You're right.
Influence is
Right.
power. Anyways,
That's fucking crazy.
and yeah, and then she was really cute. She was like, "Oh my god, really? Do you have any like links and books and
You're like, this
stuff
is how
I
long
can like
ago.
read into it?"
Yeah.
So I sent
You
her
sent
like
her stuff.
books and stuff, and then like
And these are in English? And these are in
documentaries.
English? These books are in English?
too. So
Yeah.
there were few independent filmmakers, American filmmakers that did hella extensive history documentary on
that
this.
specific topic.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
On YouTube. So like if y'all curious, you can search. And then Nanking Massacre documentary
What is it
or
called?
something. Nanking Massacre.
N-U-N-K-I-N-G?
Nanking
Nanking Massacre.
Nanking Massacre.
I'm gonna read up on it because I had no, and I'm an 8th Chinese, so you think I would know,
Yeah,
but obviously I'm more Filipino.
I mean, yeah, because it's
this needs to be taught
yeah,
because history is just gonna fucking repeat itself.
Yeah. And then and then she after she read all that and then watch all the
comes
videos,
back to you.
and then she wrote a letter to the Japanese government
Shut
demanding
up.
them to put this in the
Information.
history book. Yeah.
Shut up.
That's cute. Obviously, they didn't.
But you telling that story. I mean, you've impacted me. So just from what I hear, the two people that you've talked to, it's made a difference.
Yeah.
So know that it's made a difference, and I'm gonna start telling you know what happened to us because I think people have a right to know. You know what I mean?
It just it's the information's is out there. It's just the controlled
they control the social media. Why do you think things get taken down?
Yeah, it takes they just put a lot of barriers from you to all from between you and all the informations, all the narratives. But,
see, I 100% believe now that is why they do all those guidelines and restrictions. You know what I mean? They're because I've posted videos and they're like, this video won't be posted in these countries because of this song. I'm like, the song? Like, they banned the artist, the song. And it just shows, like, I feel like as countries, we're kind of fucking petty.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. There shouldn't be.
We should be unity.
There shouldn't be
It should be unified. And I feel like that's what's going to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
Like unity, blending, right?
Yeah.
Blending.
Yeah, they control these narratives. Then
I feel like I could see someone posting and then they're fact checking it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you have allies and you don't want to talk shit, or you don't want to expose the stuff that your allies do, because then when you need them to fight against, your enemies, I guess.
Yeah.
So
then I mean, even when you have allies and enemies, it's still a terrible relationship because people are still backstabbing each other. You know what I'm saying?
I think nowadays people are getting smarter and smarter. Like we all know.
100%.
We all know. Okay, it ain't about fucking race.
No.
Like religion, where you grow up, but that's all just like.
It's just hate.
They just like
it's just hate.
Like it's a human being on
it's
a
taught.
basic level, like the Russians that died, Ukrainians that died, or like all the Middle East people. It don't matter. It just they're people.
It's not about race, and because they've lived on generations and generations and generations of hate, that's all they know.
Exactly. Like it passed down that generational trauma and generational.
Why don't I
hate.
like them? Because this is how it is. This is how it's always been. We're always gonna be like this.
Yeah. Because if you talk to like my grandparents, they still fucking hate Japanese.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's like here, right?
Yeah,
like the culture of Americans, like, well, they don't like the whole white and black thing, right?
Yeah.
The white and Asian thing, the black and Asian thing. Like it's still there. And until that generation, right? Until the generations start to change, I don't think it's going to change. And that's sad.
Yeah.
But it takes people like us, this generation,
Yeah.
right, to look past race, to look past. I mean, I'm not gonna bullshit and say like I don't make offhand comments based on race and religion. Like I do. We're fucking comedians.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're fucking comedians. And I'm not saying, I'm better than a regular person because I'm able to say it. I'm not saying that I'm a better person. I'm saying I'm the person that's gonna fucking say something.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me better. It just fucking lets me. I'm gonna speak my fucking mind. Like, and I feel like that's the detachment.
And then
from being humanity, from humanity.
And usually we do rooms in mixed race because this area, and it's good. It's like when I do that one liner, with the race thing, black people usually laugh the loudest. When I say I'd rather get sucker punched by a black guy than
and they laugh.
Listen to another white guy hit on me in Mandarin.
What?
Yeah. I have this one liner, and then whenever I do this joke, black people in the audience,
they're fucking dying.
Yeah, they're dying. They're laughed the loudest.
Yeah, you guys rather get it. And the white people are like, "Are we allowed to laugh at that?"
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, and I mean, I think once people are able to accept that people are gonna have their own fucking opinions, do their own fucking thing, the world will be a better place, But there's just constant manipulation, constant like propaganda, and I don't know. I think we need a woman president, but I think even if we have a woman president, she's gonna just be a puppet.
Yeah, I mean, like president, we all know, kind of like
they're puppets.
That's why conspiracy theories are fun.
They're real. Hello, UFOs. Oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Really? Well, the government just said, hey, these are facts. Remember we were lying about it the whole fucking time?
Exactly.
It's real. Look at these pictures. Look, we have pictures. We have videos. Oh, yeah, and by the way, we were never on the moon. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just expect that shit
Yeah,
now.
I think COVID really fucked up people's
How
trust
do
in
the
government.
government?
It messed it up. It messed it up.
Well, and I
real
think you can
bad.
blame pharma, you know, on
Yeah,
that because America is greedy.
Yeah. And I feel like
They're all about the money.
I feel like I won't do nothing. It's because of side effects of vaccine.
Have you? Were you boosted and vaccinated?
Just 2 shots.
You did the Johnson and Johnson?
Yeah, Pfizer.
So you did one
Pfizer,
shot, the vaccine.
2 shots, no booster.
Oh, you
So
did no
2
booster, just
yeah,
the,
no
the
booster,
one, just the 2 shots.
2 shots.
Okay.
Pfizer. Yeah.
Okay. See, I did the Johnson and Johnson, so I did do 2 shots, but my original one was only 1 shot, and then when I did the booster, it was only 1 shot. That's why I did it. And you know what? I really believe. I don't know. I really believe whatever it was I was doing, including like it helped me or prevented me from getting it. I don't know. This is just an assumption, right? And the only reason why I'm saying that is because when my whole family got fucking COVID, like I didn't get it.
Nice.
Like, and I don't know if my immune.
You never got COVID?
I just got it last month, girl.
I see,
Fucking
I see.
3 years. Did you?
Right.
You haven't gotten it.
Right.
You haven't gotten it, right?
I did.
Oh, you did get it.
Twice.
You got it twice.
Yeah, I got it.
Bitch, just because
twice.
you're not boosted. I'm just kidding. But is that why you got vaccinated? Because you got it twice?
No, I got both of time. I got after the vaccines.
Shut up.
It didn't do shit.
So were you sick as fuck? Because you know some people were like hella sick.
No, the first time was alright. Just the first night I was like shivering and like sweating a lot.
Like it's
But
a
then
flu?
It's almost like a flu, yeah. But it was short and sweet, real quick. The second
Like
time,
one day?
Ooh, the second time was like, God damn, it lasted a month. Like brain frog.
It lasted a month? Like you were sick for a whole month?
Yeah, I didn't fully recover for like a month.
Yeah.
Fatigue and then just not want to do nothing. And it
So when
just
was this?
fucked up my vision.
When was this? The last one. This year?
Last year, end of last year.
Oh, end of last year.
Yeah, something like that. So
That's
I don't
crazy.
remember. I don't know. I don't know the variant, but yeah. So, anyways, so I like to blame my laziness now on vaccines.
You're like, look what COVID did to me.
It
Well,
made me not want to go to work.
And I feel like everyone, I'm disabled, you know, like I got COVID. I feel like everyone reacts differently because when I got it, I didn't get sick when I was testing positive, if that makes sense. So I got
Asymptomatic.
I was asymptomatic, I guess. But then what was crazy was that I was sick the day before, like hella sick. Like it was literally like 6 hours. I was like, I thought I was dying. Like I couldn't even come into my house. Like I had just visited my friend and his mom at the hospital, and I literally felt something happening while I was walking into the hospital. Like I feel like, okay, I'm feeling kind of weird right now. And then once I was in the hospital, I could feel like a headache come up my neck, right? Into my head. And I'm sitting there listening to them talk. And I was like, fuck, this isn't good. And so when we get out, I'm talking to my friend outside and he's talking and we're talking for another 30 minutes. And then after that, I was like, I don't know what's wrong, but I don't feel good. Like I need to go. I'm sorry, you know? Hugged my friend and then I left and then I went home and so mind you, I tested that before I went to the hospital because I was like, oh, I want to make sure that I don't have COVID because I'm going to a fucking hospital,
exactly.
right? So I tested, then I started feeling sick. And then when I went home, I like slept it off. I slept like once, as soon as I got home, it was like maybe 4 or 5, fell asleep for a couple hours, woke up, took some medicine, fell back asleep, woke up, and then I was fine. Yeah.
Okay, so it was short and sweet.
Literally short and sweet. It was all in one day.
Yeah, I've heard people have all different symptoms. Some people like just prolonged drag. And then some people just get really like really intense discomfort or like pain for a short time, and then that's it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all depends
Most of
on,
the
like,
people I know, they were like sick as fuck.
Yeah.
And then some of them, like their spouses were like, they got it, but I didn't get it. I just assume I got it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like my husband got it first. And
Was he
then
sick?
I didn't. He was sick for 3 days, but like sweats and stuff and like headache.
The flu.
It's like a flu. It wasn't that bad. He didn't lose taste or nothing like that. And then a
lot of people lost taste too, which I thought was weird.
and then he didn't know he had it. Like
What?
that morning, so we had like sex.
Yeah.
And then after in the afternoon he started feeling sick, and then he tested. It was positive, and then I was like, all right. I mean, like I for sure
You have to have it. Yeah. So you tested.
and then I tested. It was negative. And then and then we slept in separate rooms. And then I went to the like the remote tester place.
Oh
like
yeah. The stations.
The stations, yeah.
Just to make sure.
Yeah. So I went and I tested again. It was negative.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so this means
You can
COVID is
fuck.
not sexually transmitted, for sure.
Yeah.
At least in our case.
No, I have the same story with my third ex-husband. Like, we had already been somewhat separated. I mean, we were still living in the same house, but fucking marriage is falling apart, right? And he got COVID. I didn't know he had COVID. He was just like, I'm hella sick. So then I told him, I was like, and we had already fucked, right? And then I was like, test, and he tested positive, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then I would test, negative, and then even my kids,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
fucking, I was
It's
eating,
weird.
I was eating off their fucking plate
right.
because I forgot that they
Right,
had
right.
it, and I was like, well, let me get a bite of that. And my daughter was like, why are you taking a bite of like my food? I was like, she's like, remember I have COVID. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Still didn't get it.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it's
So
just
I don't
weird.
know.
Yeah. It just that's.
I have a
very
feeling
weird.
it's something
Everybody's
in our
different.
blood or something that we're consuming that activates.
Maybe.
You know, I mean, it's a conspiracy
something.
theory, right? What do I know?
Yeah.
But I mean, it has to because it just doesn't make sense.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
Because it's this thing that people, the government made it out to be like this fucking.
And they blamed it on you.
Like it kills people. Oh my god! Like the whole fucking world shut down for
Yeah.
this shit.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
So I was
and
curious.
Then when people got it, it's like, what the fuck?
That's
This is
it?
a fucking code. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there are a lot of people that died.
Right.
Because they already have like underlying conditions.
underlying.
like fucking
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
obese or something.
Or
not
stroke. They've had
exercising,
strokes. They're
stroke,
diabetic,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, or they have. Yeah, they already are like on their way out.
Do you remember seeing that conspiracy theory where they were saying that like the vaccinations were killing
Lab tech-
athletes?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because they're healthy, right?
okay.
And then they were getting vaccinated and boosted, and literally just dropping.
Yeah,
Like I was thinking in my head.
it fucked up some of the
Well-
athletes, right?
Well, I was thinking, so you have to be healthy, right? like,
exactly.
like to get it. And I was like, I'm not healthy. It's never going to get me. And that's how I was coming up with my jokes. Because I was like, I'm not fucking healthy, girl. I barely eat vegetables.
Oh, yeah, I
I
remember
smoke
those
like a fucking
memes.
chimney. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, speaking of smoking, right? This conspiracy theory came out of Wuhan because it had it first, right? And then people were saying, yo, for smokers out there, you're
safe.
safe.
Oh, so they
'Cause
were
you have this
actually telling.
layer.
They were
Yeah.
actually telling people that.
They were so. Oh my god! So this happened in it. The information was leaked. The first whistleblower, that doctor, he leaked this in 2019.
When the
Kinda
COVID actually
beginning
started,
of-
yeah.
Yeah, beginning or mid. I don't remember the
Yeah.
timeline.
That's why it's
but,
called
you know.
COVID-19 because it
Yeah.
happened in 2019.
And then immediately he was arrested for spreading false information,
Shut
and all that.
up.
And then that alarmed.
He was
people.
arrested in China,
Yeah.
right?
And then because he's a
He's
Chinese
Chinese
doctor,
scientist or whatever doctor.
in Wuhan. Yeah, and then
Is he still alive?
He's dead. He's dead.
Shut the. Did he die
Yeah,
from COVID?
He died in from COVID. Yeah, he died in prison.
That's so sad.
Yeah, and then those news starts leaking out. We've all seen those videos, like the fucking body bags and all that
Yeah.
shit. And then
Just
people
bags
are like
and bags of people.
because you hear shit. You can't fucking contain information these days. And then my hometown is very close to Wuhan, very close.
Yeah, I remember.
And then
you
I
said-
told my parents, yo, this shit this shit is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You can't go there. Like, just
Don't go to Wuhan.
Yeah, don't go.
And
Like,
you're
stay
here.
home, be safe, and then I'm here because
Yeah.
I see this information. And then
And
my
they don't
parents
see the
couldn't
information.
see.
Yeah.
They couldn't see. It's
Yeah,
easier.
it's different.
It's different. Yeah. And then
So
my
what-
parents
oh,
are.
so what did they say? Were they like,
No, my
it
parents
didn't
were
start
like,
here."
yeah, it's just, anti-China propaganda, all that is, they didn't believe it. And I'm afraid of
and then the
sending the information
whistleblower-
to them. Yeah.
And then the whistleblower
Yeah.
came
And
out
I don't want to send information
to
them.
jeopardize.
Because I don't want them
their
fucking
safety.
and then arrest them because my dad is a fucking dumbass. If I send him shit, he's gonna send him to his boys group.
Yeah. That's how dads
yeah,
are.
I'm like, no, fuck. So I just told him, don't do that. Don't go to Wuhan, and then just stay home, and then like get a lot of food.
Yeah,
Just,
quarantine.
You quarantine and get like robbing alcohol, or store some like medicines and shit, and then wear a mask. You're going out or whatnot, and then masks in China then were sold out. And a lot of
Didn't you guys
a lot
make
of
it-
Chinese immigrants here
Yeah.
will buy masks in the store and then send it back to China.
What? The other way?
Yeah, because in the beginning it started over there first.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
But they were
we all
running out
heard-
of masks because
and they were hard overnight. The Wuhan government just said, "Oh, in 12 hours we're going to lock down the whole fucking city." Mind you, this city has like 200 million people. Now I made this number up, but just lots of lots of people.
And not your city,
Not
Wuhan city.
Wuhan, yeah. 'Cause
When they did that, everyone
when
like
they-
followed suit.
Oh my God. And everybody was fleeing out of it like a fucking roaches.
Shut up.
And everybody, when people had, resources, they will fly to Europe, they'll fly
they
here,
don't
they'll
wanna
fly
lock
every
down.
fucking where. And then like,
And that's how the
went
shit
out
got
of-
spread.
That's how pretty much, I guess. And
You
in
know
the
what I'm saying?
beginning-
It makes sense.
In the beginning.
So
yeah.
so it is facts that it
Yeah.
was found in Wuhan because of the whistleblower. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, from
It
I
was on the
don't, we
news
don't
and
know
everything.
original, but from just the
That
facts that
statement.
we know here,
Yeah.
yes.
That's crazy.
And then, what the fuck? And then, so I told my dad, and then,
Yeah.
fuck. Now these fucking memories are back. I want to fucking kill him.
Yeah.
So I when I know this news, I immediately FaceTime my dad and I said, "Oh my God, you need to stay because I see fucking body bags,
Yeah.
death, and then just stacks
Propaganda.
of bodies
And this is in Wuhan.
in Wuhan."
Right. Okay.
And then I saw all of that shit.
And these are
And
your
then-
people, so you're freaking out.
Yeah, I'm freaking out. And then I told, and then like military sirens and all that shit. And then I told my dad, "You need to stay." And then he said, "Oh, I'm going to pick up this homie, that homie, from Wuhan." I'm like,
Shut up.
yeah. He's like, "Oh, my homie said, I'm
It's
not gonna
cool.
pick up." Yeah, because everybody is fleeing out. I'm like, God damn, because then I didn't know what the fuck it was, and all the news that came out.
'Cause COVID-19, and they haven't said
if you
it
have
yet.
it, you die. Because that's how the fucking shit I believe.
Yeah.
Because from what I saw.
But
you
your
got
dad
it,
in
you die.
their country, they weren't saying that yet.
He didn't have he wasn't he doesn't have like VPNs and shit, so he can see other stuff.
But it wouldn't be the
outside of
news. Yeah.
outside of mainstream media.
So what were they
showing.
saying when this was happening?
Mainstream media didn't say nothing.
They weren't even talking
They
about
wouldn't
it.
even talk about it. They arrested that whistleblower and they said just spreading false information is just. It's
But
just,
America believed it.
Yeah, it's just a cold or something like a respiratory thing, but it's under control. All government would say shit like that. Anyways, so he believes it's like, oh, I mean, the news is
And
saying
your
it's
dad's
under
like-
control.
Yeah.
It's almost like, oh, CDC says, don't worry. I
don't
guess I'm
fucking
not
believe it.
worried.
No.
So it's like, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
And then, but I saw a different thing. I was so furious. And I said,
That your dad was
if
going
you-
around picking people
I
up.
said, if you die, don't fucking expect me to go.
Shut your funeral.
I was
You
like,
said this to your dad?
Yeah, I was so mad. And
Yeah.
I said, you die, you go die.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't spread the shit to my mom.
Yeah.
If you fucking come home with that shit,
Yeah.
and because of your shit, my
Yeah.
mom dies, I will never forgive you.
Yeah.
Never.
And what did he say?
And then he was like, oh, just dumb.
Yeah.
And then he went to pick up his
His
friends
friends.
anyways. And then the whole thing is like all of this shit, he never got COVID once.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Your dad still hasn't gotten COVID.
Never.
How about your mom?
I think she got it. wasn't bad.
Yeah,
It
but
was
she got it
almost like
once.
cold, yeah. Yeah.
That's
I don't think she
funny.
ever tested, but it was like a cold, running nose or something.
I know one of my parents hasn't gotten it yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's my mom or my dad, but they just
But
said.
my dad smokes heavy.
Oh, see, both of my
Smokes
parents.
heavy. Yeah.
My
mom doesn't
parents.
smoke.
My mom doesn't smoke heavy, but my dad smokes.
Yeah.
I don't want to say this. It's heavy, but it used to be heavy. You know what I mean? But now they're like controlled their smoking, where they split a pack or split a cigarette and they smoke. But yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So
that's
was
crazy.
crazy. And then
And this is
my
2019,
God.
I would say,
Yeah,
right? Because it was coming on the news.
Yeah. And then and then the
They
rest
shut
it,
down.
like,
The rest of the world shut
and then
down.
it spread it here and all that. So yeah, that was a crazy time.
Did you realize it then, or are you kind of realizing it now? That like right now, where you're like, my dad was fucking picking up his stupid friends.
No, back then I
You
was
realized
very.
you were
I
like,
was
you're
really
spreading
mad.
it out.
I was like, no joke. I really like to my that time in my head, he was dead to me.
Yeah, and he was being selfish.
He was been very selfish because I didn't know what the fuck that was, and I told him this is really serious, and I really did believe once you get it, you
Die.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at the news, they're dragging dead bodies out. But the news, when you're looking at the news, was that in America that they're showing you? Or was it stuff in China that they're showing you? Do you
the
remember?
stuff in China that leaks
So that's
out of
you-
the internet.
So that made it even more worrisome.
Yeah,
Because you're
'cause it's
like,
straight up from China.
yeah.
But since we are, we don't have firewall that protects.
Right, we don't have
information.
as many.
If you can search for shit, you will find it.
Yeah.
And then it's within the Chinese immigrants community in America or like the world. We all know, like we're sharing with each other.
Right.
And
But they know their own country controls shit still.
Yeah.
Same thing with America. America controls shit.
Yeah.
You know what I
So,
mean?
Yeah. So like when we saw that, like we all try to get really worried about our family and friends that are still back in China.
Yeah.
And a lot of the immigrants start buying like shit and then send it back to China to their family. And that's why when COVID hit shit here, the masks are out of like the mask and what you call it?
Desensitized?
Desensitizer
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, the
are all sold
sanitizer.
out. Yeah.
Sanitizer.
Sanitizers all sold out. You
Well-
remember in the beginning, masks are sold
Yeah,
sold
well,
out?
and you know what? That surprised me because I always thought China was the export country of the world.
Yeah, they
You know
were
what I mean?
buying
Like,
shit.
yeah, they're buying and making, right?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
distributing. And that's why I was kind of surprised when you said, oh, no, people here buying shit and then sending it back. Because I don't know what the
Yeah.
dollar is. What's the dollar?
Oh, cause everybody there, like there's like billion people. So even if they're the world exporter, with that many people want to store like fucking 200 boxes at a time, you're gonna
Yeah.
run out. Yeah.
It's fucking
So China
crazy.
isn't producing masks, and then here the inventory is limited.
Right.
If we all buy the shit, send it back to China. Like
That's
people don't have
crazy.
nothing that people here have. So, anyways, yeah.
What's the dollar conversion? Do you know the like
Right
estimate?
now, $1 is like a 6 point something RMB.
Is that what you call
RMB
it?
is Chinese
RMB?
currency, yeah.
What does RMB stand for?
Renminbi is like a people's money or some shit.
Oh. and wow, I just learned so much today. This is the type of shit that I love hearing about. And I always go with what people are telling me
Yeah.
that have came from those countries versus what I see on the news. I don't watch the news. I fucking hate watching the news. You know what I mean?
Gives you anxieties and shit.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, those fucking media people are. How do they even do that? It's oh my god, like
Okay, this is one of the topics that I've been bringing up in the past podcasts that I've been Hassan. You know the comic Hassan. You heard about the controversy about that, right?
Yeah.
So let me tell the audience members. We're gonna recap on this. He's a comedian, and he tells jokes on stage. And I guess recently, some journalists, interviewed him, and they fact checked some of the stuff that he was talking about, and they did their research, and it comes out to be not true, right? And I was thinking about it because he was getting a lot of backlash. But I'm not criticizing. I'm not here to judge him. And I'm just kind of like, if there's people out there that believed it and now are holding it against him. Fuck you. He's a comedian in the end. Like in the end, he's a comedian, and comedians will say shit. And so then that was the debate that me and Jorge, shout out to Your Worst Neighbors podcast. That was the debate because he was like, well, you know, people look up to him and people, you know, like he should be watching what he says. It's kind of like,
Yeah, the thing. So I watched. Do you know who Andrew Schultz?
yeah, I've heard of him.
So I watched his podcast on that because he personally, and then his co-host Akash Singh, they personally know Hassan or something. So they were saying that, yeah, like comedians, we kind of fabricate little, you know, like, details to make it funny. But with him, that article, I think Washington Post or New York Post or some shit, this reporter wrote the whole thing accusing Hassan, not just the jokes, but he will fabricate a true story off stage.
I heard that too.
Yeah, off stage, saying like
like he was being treated.
Some
he was
girl
being treated
refused
racist.
go to prom.
Prom because he's Indian. But she's really married
racist.
to someone that's Indian.
Yeah, or something like that. Or yeah. So or like when he co-hosts Daily Show or something. I think it's him hosting now instead of Noah.
Really?
What's his name? Yeah, I think he's
Noah.
stepped down.
Yeah, I know.
He stepped down. Like he's.
Is he doing it right now?
Stage.
Is he doing it right now as
Still,
we speak?
yeah.
Daily? Okay.
I don't think this would like affect his.
Really, you don't think so? I don't think so
reputational
either.
fans.
But
Like his fans will still love him. I don't think it's a thing that will like kill his career. He's gonna
he'll bounce
He's
back.
gonna be fine.
Yeah,
He's gonna be fine.
well, and that's what I was gonna say though. Like a lot of times, well, okay, I don't know about all comics, but all the times that I've ever told a joke, it's because it was based off of a true story, you know. And I will tell a journalist, my friend, the same, like not even saying it as a joke, just like the story, but I'll add things, you know what I mean? Because I'm just kind of like, okay, maybe it might not be true, but it's funny, right? And I don't mean to do it like just to lie, but it's because this is who I am. Like I want to make people laugh, you know what I mean? And sometimes it might not make people laugh.
Yeah.
You know,
as a comic,
it's exaggerated, right?
As a comic, I totally understand. We want to make story interesting,
right?
So we sprinkle a little bit of things, and then it's normal. I guess people's problem with him is that like maybe part jealousy, part everything, and you know, like a sellout. Now he's hosting like late show, daily show, and then now he's like try to fit in that corporate left media narrative that he's a victim because he's Indian, and now he's
he thinks it's like cheap laughs he's getting, you know what I mean? Like
it's not like cheap laughs. It's just like fitting the left corporate media narrative that if you're
he's catering to be successful.
He's catering to that.
Yeah.
So he gotta say
and he
stuff
got
like
it.
that. Yeah, he got it.
Now he's getting
So,
criticized.
So I guess I can understand both sides. I mean, you
Me
got to do
too.
what you got to. I don't think this would affect his career.
It's not gonna ruin him.
Yeah, it's not gonna at all. It's just that I hope is a little bit of no wake up call. It's just for him to kind of a little, you know, like, because where's the line? Sometimes we like you and I, we know. Oh, we are aware. Now this is something we sprinkled, exaggerated part.
Yeah, because we go extreme.
Yeah, the true, like we know.
Yeah.
When you play at high stake, you have shit, you have team you need to feed. You start playing into a character that they want you to, because this limelight and attention.
You have this image to uphold.
Is too good. Then you will remove yourself further and further from your truth. And I hope he's one day not gonna be like, you know, a Jimmy Kimmel or one of the Jimmys in the late fucking shows.
Mm-hmm.
He got into a scandal too because he treated his staff really
Oh yeah,
badly.
I heard about that. The show's done, right?
Yeah,
Same thing with Ellen.
Done. Yeah, the show's fucking done. So I hope he's not gonna be one of those.
Yeah.
When you so fucking hungry for attention, and
You're gonna
want
treat
to
people
get-
like shit.
Yeah, you're gonna collapse or like drop fall really bad.
really
bad.
I
on your
100%
ass.
agree with you. I feel like the more people you burn
Yeah,
to climb to the top, there's no support,
exactly.
right? And what happens?
You need to have.
You need
around
support
you.
because what happens if you're breaking all these fucking walls? Here's this fucking tower.
Exactly. So
Like
where you gotta draw your own line.
Yeah.
You need to know your line. Like, okay, I lie a little bit of this. That's all right. Next day, I'm gonna lie a little bit of that.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's a little white lies.
It's
It's,
a
different
little-
from
yeah.
like it's different from like I
But-
was beaten up and you were never really beaten up,
Yeah.
right? You know what I'm
But
saying?
when you do that every day, it's like it adds up.
It adds up.
And one day, you don't even know who the fuck are you.
Yeah.
And you don't even know the people that are around you because they want
They-
something
that
from
light
you
so
or
much.
something. Or yeah. So then, that's why like you gotta know what you want. I'm not saying it's not, there are always going to be people or opportunities. They want that. All right, fine. Like we're made of
You're an opportunist.
we're made of different type of people that are driven by different things. Let's be honest with that. Like I'm not judging somebody who always, thriving for attention, money, or fame or shit. That's just what it is. But you need to know where's the line. You need to have like a good support,
Yeah.
solid system.
And I
of
don't think that's
people
gonna ruin his
ground you.
career.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna ruin his career.
But I know what you're talking about.
But I
How
hope
like
he doesn't go too far.
right, like how do we know he's not doing that to people, right? Like you know what I mean? And
Exactly.
I like how you brought that up about Jimmy Kimmel, because these people have been successful for so long, right? And then you would never have a clue until you just obviously fucked over the wrong fucking person. Even like the Lizzo thing, that's fucking crazy, right? But this is I don't care if you guys judge me for this. I don't give a fuck. But this is my opinion. Like if I would have known that she was making people do this and she was paying them, I'd have been like, how do I apply? You know what I mean? Like, how do I fucking apply? I'll fucking do that. I get to fuck around with Lizzo and she's telling me what to do. Like, this is my boss. Like, my boss told me to, my boss told me to eat some pussy. I'm gonna fucking do it. Like, you know what I mean? Is that wrong to feel that way? Because,
Not at all. Not at all.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it just like.
And then
there's
some people are
always
like,
gonna
I
be
can't
people like
believe
that.
it. I can't believe it. And
there's
I mean,
no
these
people
people
like
had to have known. Like,
Yeah.
but then again, is it something where they're like, I'm not going to do it, Lizzo. Like, I refuse. And she's like, yes, you are. You're going to fucking do it. And they're like, okay, I'll fucking suck this dick. You know what I mean? Like, is it like that? Or was it like,
We never know.
we don't know. Well,
Yeah.
we might find out.
I
Right?
don't
Because there's
know
going to
if
be a
her
trial
team-
if they ever go through
I
trial.
think they're going to trial. We'll
Are they
see.
going to go
We'll
to
see.
trial?
I don't know.
I feel like they're gonna
maybe
pay
not.
him
Or
off.
maybe
I don't think
like
they're- I don't
Lizzo's
think-
team bought them
That's
off.
exactly what I was gonna say. I feel like if you have the money, sometimes you can just buy it and be like, we'll settle out of court, so
Yeah,
we don't
yeah,
get to
yeah.
hear the drama. We don't get to hear anything.
yeah.
But again, in the entertainment industry, when you do things like that and you sweep it under the rug, eventually that rug is now no longer. It's like a fucking pile,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like the Michael Jackson thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're just like, oh no, he wouldn't do that. Oh no, he wouldn't do that. Oh no, he wouldn't. Then he dies, and they're like, this is what he did, and I was scared to talk about it. Like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. And on that note, we're almost at the end of the episode already. Time flew by like this. There was like so much I wanted to talk about. I'm like, but this is way more interesting. So I'm definitely gonna have you back. And then also, I wanted the audience to know where they can find you.
I'm on social media, all of them, at Shining Love Smile. Shining is like
shining
Jack,
star, yeah.
like Shining Jack Nicholson Shining.
Yeah, but it's love LUV.
LUV and Smile.
Okay. Any upcoming shows that you have? Because this episode will
dang.
drop within the next couple of days. So if you have any shows,
I got, the next show is our own produced show at the Hub
oh yes,
in Redwood City. Starts at 7:30.
What day is that?
It's on the 10th. Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday. Okay, this show
Yeah.
will air before then.
Okay, cool,
Perfect.
cool.
So
it's next Tuesday.
come
the
check it
10th.
out.
And then
This Tuesday. It's coming up. It's 2 days from
Yeah,
now.
it's coming up 2 days. And then October 19th, if you're in Richmond area, it's Riggers Loft wine and dine type of place.
Like a winery.
Winery, yeah. At 7:30.
Okay, perfect.
That's pretty. Those are
And
the most important ones.
No, thank you for the information. Be sure to follow her. Shining Love
Smile.
Smile. No S. Smile.
No,
Shining Love
just,
Smile.
Just smile.
Okay, be sure to check her out. Instagram, Facebook. My name is PX Floro. Thank you guys for always tuning in. If you want to find out more, please visit me at pxcomedy.org, or you can find me on all social handles, PX Comedy, or PX is my name. If you're wondering why it's different, PX is my name was like my personal page. So if you Google PX is my name, it's like stuff that like I don't even do anymore and stuff that I'm probably not attached to. But PX Comedy is the thing, and this is where you're gonna want to check out any upcoming shows I have. I do have free tickets on the website, so be sure to check that out. But if you want to RSVP or anything like that, you're gonna have to pay attention to my social media because that I share all this shit. I'm not posting as much, but. I am on Faces of Horror. I'm the top 5, so be sure to vote on Facebook. If you are on Facebook, come find me, come add me. Don't say come, and then vote for me. That way I can get to the top 3 of the Face of Horror because I fucking love horror movies. Every Sunday we have Foxtail Comedy, and then we're actually celebrating the anniversary of Comedy Night at Foxtail next Sunday. So I'm excited because it's going to be a year. It's probably the longest mic that I've had recently. But to know that there's a place where comics can hone their craft, comics can get booked on shows, get paid, you know what I mean, to do what they love to do on a Sunday. Be sure to tune into that. And then also, I started a new open mic and showcase in Modesto. Stockton. Sorry, Modesto. So go if you're in the Stockton area, you're going to want to check out Ground Stack Coffee. It's my cousin's shop. Every Mondays, we're going to be doing comedy there. And then first Monday of the month, we will have a showcase. And then this Friday, I will be in downtown San Jose at La Blanc. That is with Involuntary Laughter producing. We have Atu Walker that's going to be closing out the show. And obviously, I'm on it. And this Saturday, I will be at Woodham's. They brought it back, but it's not an open mic. It's just a showcase. Priscilla Torres is going to be closing out the show. That's produced by Pete Munoz. Be sure to follow all the comics that come through here. Don't say come. And anyone that we name drop, follow them because we need the support. With everything that's dark that's happening right now, all the hate, comedians right now are like one of the biggest things. They're, to me, I feel like they're right there with the medical, the soldiers, and soldiers and medical people are like, you're fucking dumb. You guys aren't even on our level. And that's fine. You can go ahead and say that. But I feel like comedians, no matter if you're in the military, if you're a fucking civilian, if you're a fucking nurse, comedians are the ones that are bringing joy to people's lives. You know what I mean? They're the ones who are making people laugh. Whether it's dark, whether it's clean, whether it's whatever. So if you know a comedian, definitely support them and follow them. If you don't think they're funny, then don't support them and follow them. But my name is PX Floro, and
my name is Shining.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a wonderful life.